Hey, ladies. Welcome to Black Women Making Money. We are the home of the upwardly mobile Black woman. So, if you want to be in the top 20% of income earners and wealth builders in the nation, then you are in the right place. As you all are coming in, please like the video. Please also tell me what your thoughts are with regards to this topic. If you're listening to the replay, let me, first of all, sorry, if you listen to the replay, put replay in the chat and also tell me what you think about this topic. The reason that I am talking about this tonight is because I had my break, my sabbatical from YouTube, which was really good. I actually was on YouTube, but I was only looking at like positive, healthy stuff. But I ended up in urgent care in the ER on Thursday and Friday. And I realized, I realized during that time, those 2 days that I was having some health issues, that the worst thing to be in America is old, sick, and broke. When I initially was in, the urgent care and the ER, it was just sick and broke. And then I saw something that was like, blew me away with regards to the elderly. So, um, the worst thing you can be in America is old, sick, and broke. The second worst thing you could be is sick and broke. I'm telling you that right now. So, thank you, Selfish Love. Yes, I'm okay. I'm okay. I am recovering. I have another week of recovery, but yes, I am good. Hey, just being nosy. Good to see you as well. So, um, thank God for my husband's great insurance. Yeah, so I have insurance. That wasn't the problem. The problem was I went to the ER and I went to urgent care like first thing in the morning, and that was seamless. That was good, etc. I got out. I came home, etc., etc. And the doctor at the sorry, the doctor at urgent care told me that I would need to go to the ER because there was a test that only they could do at the hospital. So I go to the ER that evening. And when I tell you, like, I would have been there for, I don't know. I sat there for 4 hours and they didn't even see me. They told me when I went back to ask them, like, where am I on the list? I was seventh from the bottom. Like, you had to, and I don't live in a bad neighborhood. I do live in a rural community. So, I know that a lot of rural hospitals have um, fewer staff, etc. But my goodness, I ended up leaving the hospital that night, coming back in the morning, and it was much better. But still, like Mokomami talked about concierge medicine. And I see Computer and Coin in here as well. Hey, Computer and Coin, she can probably talk about this as well. The concierge medicine, ladies, I was in sitting in the ER looking up concierge medicine, trying to figure out how I could get on it because oh my goodness, the worst thing you can be in America is old, sick, and broke. The second worst thing you could be is just sick and broke, without great insurance, without the ability to go to the best hospitals, etc. So it is so important for us to get our money up. And that is why we talk about things we talk about on this channel. We talk about getting your technical skills together. And technical skills doesn't just mean you work in technology. It means, or in the tech industry, it means that whatever skills you need in order to do your job so well that you're considered the top 10% of that industry, you get those skills. So we talk about technical skills, we talk about soft skills. Um, I had some issues with some communication things with an underling, I think about 25-year-old guy yesterday. So we're gonna have to work on communication issues with him. The third thing is your networks, your multicultural networks, and of course, getting your resources together. So, you see me, I see you. Thank you so much for wishing me a speedy recovery. Yeah, I'm like 90% there, but it's just the doctor told me I needed to take it easy for 2 weeks. So I've got another week to go. But thank you so much. There's a serious staff shortage around the country, yes, in both urban areas and rural areas. Especially, yes, you're absolutely right. There are a lot of hospitals that are closing down. If you live in an impoverished neighborhood, I've seen so many news reports of hospitals closing, and the news report I'm going to show you, ladies, now is so disturbing. I was like, I could not believe what I was seeing. Jay Antoinette is saying, hello. Um, you're saying selfish love. The crazy thing is that rural communities didn't want Obamacare, and that would have expanded their healthcare options. I know. Sometimes people vote against their interests. Yeah, I'm doing better, Jay Antoinette. Thank you so much. So, ladies, let me show you this news report here, and you all let me know what you think about this because I was horrified. Let's listen. This is from Louisville, Kentucky, but I'm sure this is happening all over the country.
Disturbing scenes on our streets, triggering calls to the wave troubleshooters alleging patient dumping by local hospitals. Two different $2 million plus patient dumping jury verdicts recently in Kentucky caught our eye. But what really got our attention was where calls to our newsroom led us when we began following up on the complaints.
So, there's something happening called patient dumping. Patient dumping. You all are going to be shocked, I believe, when you see this. I was shocked. I didn't know this was actually happening in our hospitals like this. Let's watch.
This story begins December 1st at 5 p.m. with a phone call to our newsroom from a horrified University Hospital employee claiming security had just wheeled a woman all the way out to the corner of Hancock and Ali, just off hospital property, dumped the elderly woman out of the wheelchair on the sidewalk, and left. Minutes later, we shot.
Do you see this? This is an elderly woman here. They rolled this woman out of the hospital and dumped her on the sidewalk like a piece of trash. The worst thing you can be in this country is old, sick, and broke. One of the things that Erica talks about is people who are old, sick, broke with no family. Like this woman here, most likely does not have any family that's looking after her. This is horrifying. And some of us don't have kids, and just because you have kids doesn't mean they come looking for you. So, some people, especially we see this with a lot of men who abandon their kids, all of their lives, and then all of a sudden, the last 6 months of their life, they're trying to get in touch with their children or somebody to take care of them. This is called patient dumping, and it is prevalent. This is a Louisville, Kentucky story, but this is prevalent nationwide. Ladies, get your money up. That's all I can say. Get your resources together because the haves and the have nots is here with regards to the healthcare system. Let's keep listening.
Video of her, still in a soiled hospital gown and slippers, breathing hard under a blanket placed over her in 36-degree weather, her stuff in a bag next to her. The employee.
36-degree weather, ladies. 36-degree weather. They dumped her on the sidewalk like trash. Let's keep listening.
Claimed she sees this a lot. So I started watching, and on December 16th at 7 p.m., 35 degrees outside, I record 3 security guards surrounding an elderly woman with a walker, slowly escorting her out of the emergency room. She can't move fast. It takes several minutes to make it all the way to the same corner of Hancock and Ali. After they have her across the street, off the hospital property, the security guards turn around and go back. When they
Now, I'm not going to fault the security guards because they're probably just doing their job. But yeah, you're right, Selfish Love. That is cold. This is a Black woman. We're going to see her tell her story. This is cold. You got 3 people, 3 security guards escorting some elderly woman out of the hospital. Like she's going to do anything to them. This reminds me of that one politician who claimed the elderly were okay dying if it would help the economy. Yes, I remember that. I remember that during COVID time. Cray, cray. Let's keep listening.
clear, I catch up to her, and she says she can't breathe.
They told me that I couldn't stay on the premises.
Look at her crying. All I think about is my grandmother. Oh my goodness. We took care of my grandmother until the day she died. This is heartbreaking, this woman. The worst thing you can be in America is sick, broke, and old. I'm convinced of it.
Were you in there as a patient?
Well, I needed to be a patient because I, I'm sick.
What's wrong with you?
I've got COPD. I got diabetes.
So they wouldn't even treat you?
The doctor talked to me for 1 minute
And they told you what?
that I had to leave.
What reason did he give you?
He didn't give me a reason.
She tells me she's homeless.
I've got to go because I'm hurting. I'm in pain.
I was in a car crash and it completely.
Poor woman. Now, this story here with this gentleman is so sad as well. But that poor woman, I mean, this is just heartbreaking.
It shattered my hip and pelvis right here. I got like 30 something screwed.
Matthew Hauber and his mother claim a similar story. They met us in front of Wayside Mission in the spot where they say he was dumped in October.
Anywhere. And they said, well, we can't find a rehab right now.
Linda Hauber said when Norton Hospital told her they had a room lined up for Matthew at Wayside, she checked it out.
Y'all, listen to this story here. So he gets out of the hospital. They're supposed to send him to a halfway house because this mother is older and she cannot lift up her son. And ultimately, she ends up dying a couple of days later after this interview. Listen to this.
I called Wayside Christian Mission and just to confirm, and they said no. They said we can't do that. We can't. You know, they have beds and they help them find jobs and stuff, but we don't take medically needy people. We don't do that. And
then she says she had a conference call with the hospital staff.
The social worker said, we're going to take him to a shelter. And I said, which one? And they said, Wayside Christian Mission. And I said, well, I know that's not true because I called them and they don't take them. And then the lady said, the social worker said, well, that's history. Let's think of something else.
Hauber says the next day, her son was unloaded from a transport vehicle on the curb in the rain on Jackson Street in front of Wayside.
I thought they've dumped my garbage. I have to put out to the curb. That's how they dumped my son, like garbage.
Linda Hauber said she was in no shape to care for him at home, and she died after this interview.
They put all their stuff on.
Oh, I'm sorry. This guy works for this mission center thing. So let's hear what he has to say.
Stuff on the sidewalk over there. They dump them off over here on the sidewalk and get back in that vehicle and get out here just as fast as they can.
So the hospital basically knows that this mission center does not take care of people. Yet all they do is the hospital just wants the discharge and to say, hey, you know, this person is gone because they need to free up the bed. And because we have an affordable housing issue, because we have an aging population, because we don't have the facilities to take care of our elderly, especially our elderly who are, you know, not financially able to take care of themselves, this is a huge, huge problem. The politician that said that was the Texas Attorney General, Ken Paxton, who is now facing impeachment because of security fraud. He needs to be. He needs to be. That's a damn shame. So, ladies, look, I'm here to talk with you about this because it's so important for us to get our houses in order, to get our economic houses in order. So, it is a huge problem, Jay Antoinette. I'm going to tell you, though, that with every problem is an opportunity. So this is a CNBC article that I found with regards to this. And it says that less than 5% of U.S. housing supply is accessible to older disabled Americans. These changes may help. So there was a Senate hearing that happened a couple of weeks ago where experts suggested possible solutions, including updating existing homes and construction of new homes that would be available to people with lower incomes. So, in other words, people who have money are able to make it, or people who have family are able to make it. But if you are disabled and you are broke and you don't have the family around you, you could end up being patient dumped on the street like a piece of garbage. So, um, this is an opportunity as well, ladies. If some of you feel like you want to get into affordable housing for elderly disabled people, this is a huge opportunity for you as well. This article is saying here, despite a sizable elderly and disabled population in the United States, there is not enough affordable housing to accommodate these individuals. For millions of Americans, adequate housing is more of an aspiration than a reality. In particular, too many older adults and people with disabilities cannot afford accessible housing. About 26% of the US population, or 61 million people, have a disability. At the same time, 1 in 5 Americans will be older than 65 by 2030. Accessible homes, which offer specific features or technologies, can help older and disabled individuals continue to live in their homes or in communities that they choose. That may include wider doorways, lower counters, and sinks, and accessible bathrooms. Yet less than 5% of the national housing supply is accessible. Moreover, less than 1% is accessible to wheelchairs. So the US is between 3 million and 6 million houses short of what the market needs. The problem has been complicated by state and federal regulatory burdens, higher infrastructure costs, supply chain constraints, workforce shortages, and increased material costs due to inflation. So let's get this straight, because this is about to be election season. And this is going to come up as one of the issues: affordable housing, housing supply. We have an economy with close to no unemployment, right? So they say. Obviously, the unemployment rate is people who are actually looking for a job and want to be in the workplace. We have inflation that is getting lower. So, with the last report said it was 3%, they're trying to get it to 2%. Most people are thinking that most economists, I should say, are thinking that we're going to avoid the recession, or it's not going to be as bad as previously expected, etc. Yet our government is not doing much in order to fix this problem. So you got one or two things, ladies, that you can do. The first one, all of us should be doing. The second one is an option for you if you want to invest in something like this. The first thing is, you personally, do not end up old, sick, and broke, because you will be on the street. Because most of us are in our 30s and 40s. So if I by 75, I'm in my 40s. So that means that in about 30 years, I'm going to be in this position. If I don't get my money together, if I don't pay off my house, if I don't have a certain amount of financial security, I'm going to end up patient dumped somewhere. And some of you will be as well. So definitely getting your resources together, getting your money up. The second thing is, this is an opportunity if you want to provide affordable housing to disabled elderly. This is a huge opportunity. So, Women in Adjusting's in the building saying, can you explain what you mean by getting into affordable housing for the elderly? Yeah, sure. So, some people will do, what do you call it? Not nursing homes, assisted living. I actually have a very good friend who bought a nice house in Maryland, and she ended up, I think she had like 5 or 6 bedrooms, and she ended up turning it into a very small, affordable living home. Sorry, not affordable living, assisted living home for the elderly. And what happens is they get their Social Security, they may get a pension, things like that. Even though if people are getting pensions, just be careful because some of these pensions are going broke. But what you're able to do then is have that money as the rent coming in for the house. So there are licenses that need to be held for those types of things, but that's what I'm talking about with regards to this. So the other thing you're able to do if you want to, I have another gentleman that I know who's buying a motel in Arkansas. It's a vacant motel in Arkansas, and they're going to convert it to, now he's converting it to just regular affordable housing for people. But there are vacant motels. They're obviously not in well-populated areas, but in, rural areas and suburban areas, et cetera, that you could turn into these types of facilities. So you could take a small house and do it, 3, 4, 5 bedrooms, all the way up to a motel and converting it into assisted living and target this specific demographic. Now, you will not have any frills offered, unlike some of the other assisted living facilities that have yoga and, the people are buying a condo in the facility and they got yoga and they've got dancing and all of that. Happen to know somebody that lives in one of those types of assisted living facilities, and it's great. But this woman has money, right? Your facility for older, disabled, impoverished Americans will not be that, but it could at least be a warm place to live. And depending on how your numbers come out, you could still make a profit from this while also serving this demographic. So, women in adjusting, I hope that I answered your question well enough. This is another reason why pairing up hypergamously is so important. Date and marry up always. I agree with that. Be very, very cautious and conscious who you get married to and who you have children with. Sammy, we always talk about this on this channel, that the number one financial decision you will make is who you have kids with. It could bring you down or it could lift you up. You're absolutely right about that. So the recession equals cap. Yeah, look, depending on who you are in the, like, what kind of job you have and how much job security you have and how much you have coming in, and do you have your consumer debt under control and all of that. Some people are just skating through right now, and other people are like really like having a hard time. But the numbers are showing that a lot of people's savings are being depleted. So A is in the building saying there was never going to be a recession, whatever your situation is, just hang on until 2025. That is what they are saying. So it's interesting that you're saying that, because you all know that I'm starting to do mortgage loans and things like that. And I was on a webinar earlier today about the state of the economy, and the gentlemen were referring to Goldman Sachs numbers, and they were saying that by the second quarter of 2024, we should see the interest rates potentially starting to go down at that point and getting back to not normal being 3%, but 5%, 5.5% at that time, which means then that at least the housing market is going to open up. So, you know, yeah, hanging on, spending your time now, getting skilled up is going to be the most important thing that you can do. At 25, I have no idea how to think about what I can do now to prevent becoming old and broke. I don't even know what a good amount to retire off is. So I would suggest you contact a financial advisor, certified financial advisor. Actually interview several of them, find one that you like, and work with them on a plan. The great part about you being 25 is you have time on your side. So you can work with them in order to come up with a plan. If you have a job, maxing out your 401k. Most people that do well just put their money into the S&P 500 or the market itself, and don't try to pick regular stocks and just ride the market. Number one way that people have gotten a return on investment that is inflation beating is the stock market. Number two is real estate. So buying your house, buying a couple of rental properties, etc. Everything else is like lower on the totem pole. And I saw this on a chart earlier today. I'm waiting on them to send me the replay so I can get those charts for you ladies. But just having a stock, like buying the S&P 500 and having your real estate, like, and just saving as much money as possible, talking to a certified financial advisor, that should really help women in adjusting. But it's great that you're 25 and you're thinking about this now. It really is. Computer and Coin, yes, thank you so much. I got another week to go, but I'm 90% there. Thank you so much. Well, I can't do much about the old part, but the sick and broke part I can mitigate. Absolutely. I want to be like Diane Carroll old, right? Where she looked beautiful until, the last couple of months. Um, AE is saying the people who have the biggest negative impact is commercial real estate and regional banks, small banks. There will be more M&A coming up in banking. That is true. That is true. All of that. So commercial real estate, I have been looking at how they're going to be converting some of the commercial real estate into affordable housing. We have too much need for affordable housing that some of this commercial real estate is going to have to be converted. So I've been paying attention to it pretty closely. If it's affecting you, then you're in a recession. Yeah, I agree with that. I'm really making sure that things are in order since I'm single with no children. I have a village, but if things go sideways with my health, I want to be sure that financially take care of yourself. Yeah, my another thing that my mom has, which I'm going to get in the next few years, is long-term care insurance. And she's had long-term care insurance for years. Like she tells me that she pays that before other things because if anything happens to her, then at least we could have enough money coming in every day for a nurse to come in and help, with her. So definitely try to get long-term care as well. Make a plan for 2025. Things are going to get better and spring up. If you are looking to buy real estate, either buy now or save for 2025, everything is going to pick up. Yeah, even 2024, I think things will pick up as well. So one of the things that you want to think about though, this is a common misconception with real estate, is if you wait until 2025, the appreciation that's going to happen between now and 2025 may be more than if you bought today and refinanced in a year when rates could potentially go down at that point. So what a lot of people are doing is they're buying now and they're expecting in the next year or two to be able to refinance and just working with their mortgage brokers in order to do that. So I would definitely say if you're not prepared to buy now, skill up. Skill up, spend your time and your money getting your skills together. All of you within the next couple of years could be at a six-figure salary or have a really nice side business bringing in $2,000 to $5,000 a month. All of you are able to do that. Get your money together. Right? No frills, maybe just a nurse who lives there and is on call. Yep, that's it. No frills. Hey, Flashwave, invest in human capital, get a partner and start a family. Your children will take care of you in your old age. It is not guaranteed. Not guaranteed. It's most likely if you have a strong family, like a good, healthy, strong family, that your kids will take care of you, but it's not guaranteed. So, make sure you have a nest egg for yourself as well. Get a partner, just vet. Uh, let's see here. Yes, how do we connect with you to learn more about shopping for mortgage loans? bwmakingmoney@gmail.com is my email address. bwmakingmoney@gmail.com. You're not going to sit idle. Good for you, Celeste. I'm learning some tech skills. Learning to code HTML, CSS, JavaScript is a great start, ladies, if you're interested. Yes, they are. I will say one thing though is that AI is starting to take over the need for people to know how to code. So just do your research on that and know like what's the next step beyond learning how to code. Like what are people who are hiring actually hiring for? A lot of the prompt engineers are being hired as well. So I'm not telling you not to learn how to code. I'm just saying that I've read a lot of articles about the fact that coders are going away. So we don't want you to pick up that skill just to be unemployed in 5 years. Like make sure you're skating to where the puck is going. Earnings reports are coming in. Everyone is looking good. Nasdaq and S&P is good. Even with the credit downgrade. Yes. So the United States. So there are three credit agencies that look at the United States debt, and one of those credit agencies downgraded the United States from a triple A to a double A or something like that. So the US still has good credit, but they were saying that it's our debt load. We have so much debt in the United States, and we have a Senate and a Congress that doesn't have the appetite to do something about it. So they're saying at some point in the future, the United States is going to have to do something about its debt and its deficit. So, yeah, but right now things are good. So that's why skill up now, get your assets now together, pay off your debt now. That's what I'm working on. Um, what else are you all saying? Also, max out your 401k. Yes. Also, they will forgive your tax obligation if you max out your 401k to buy your first home. Check with your mortgage lender with regards to that. Check with your mortgage lender because there are ways that you can do your 401k so that you don't have a tax obligation. So, if you're 25, the most important thing you do is buy a home. I agree with that. I actually agree with that. Buy a home you can afford the monthly payments for without it being a super stretch. And if you're 25 and you feel like you found a roommate who can, help pay for like you give them a bedroom, they have their own bedroom, they have their own bathroom, and they help, they pay rent, which helps with the mortgage. That's a great way to do it as well. So, but you definitely want to talk to somebody who can kind of walk you through it. Um, you're saying here, as soon as my credit hits 620, I'm submitting my applications. Yeah, there are some lenders that'll do in the 500s as well, women in adjusting. So you should check with your mortgage broker with regards to that. Um, but yeah, I would definitely look at the cost of not buying a house right now and have someone map it out for you, especially if you can afford the down payment. Just take a look at it. Um, Flashwave is saying older white coworkers married to a Korean woman. Each one of her four kids gives her $1,000 a month. That's how Korean immigrants take care of retirement. That's great. That's great. Let's see what else you all are saying. I don't mind making mistakes now, just want to try. Perfect. Dawn to Earth is saying children put parents into nursing homes, so there's that. They not only put their parents into nursing homes, but they put them into nursing homes and don't check on them. Happens all the time. All right, you're saying you need to learn to code. Coding is more than just a job. Coding is not going away. Trust and believe, Sheree. Okay, I trust you. I trust you. I've been reading articles about it, but if you say it's not going away, then definitely you know more than I do. So, medical industry of America is good, neither to customers nor to medical staff. I agree with that. The written word did not go away with Gutenberg's Bible. Code prepares the brain and increases intelligence. Oh, I don't know what that means, but okay. Coding is more than just code. It's the entire concept, machine learning, etc. It's a lot, and knowing basic code is always a plus. Yeah, I definitely understand that. Knowing how to code is a plus. But like I said, my understanding was that AI was going to affect coding, and the need for coders. My understanding was that there would be fewer people needed to code like projects, etc. But you all know more than I do. So, How do you feel AI can affect real estate appraisals? I think ultimately what it's going to do is there's going to be a lot of data in AI because, between Google, who has Bard, and Microsoft, who has Bing, and of course, ChatGPT, they own ChatGPT, it's collecting data. So, what's going to happen is real estate appraisals are probably going to be done instantaneously and much more effectively. That's what I think. But that I think has a while to go. I do. You might get comps a lot faster, and then over time, because with an appraisal, you have to kind of go inside the house as well and see the condition of it, etc. So I think that you'll get comps instantaneously, and then you'll eventually, you may have AI even know what's happening on the inside of the house, especially as we build smart houses. So that's my thoughts with regards to that. AI's resource tool. I have my ear to the web dev streets. You go, girl. Yeah, you have to pay the 401k back. Yes. So, but that's not a tax obligation, selfish love. Of course, you're not saying that. I'm just, saying that they're like when people take the money out of their 401k in order to buy their first home, just make sure you're working with a professional that knows what they're doing so that you don't end up with a tax obligation. Yes, my fiance pays the rent. Okay, good for you. So I'll be buying a house on the side. Good for you. You go, girl. Thank you so much, Selfish Love. Absolutely. So, um, do you all want to talk about Lizzo? Put a one in the chat if you want to talk about Lizzo really quickly. Put a two in the chat if you're like, no, let this let this topic live on its own. So put a one in the chat if you want to talk about Lizzo really quickly, because I had some thoughts about the whole Lizzo thing. Put a two in the chat if you want to listen. Yeah, no, right? Okay. All right. Now that look, I respect the community saying no, let it live someplace else. Can I say just one thing? Just one thing is the reason that people get stuck with bad bosses like Lizzo is lack of networks. So I didn't want to, so yeah, we're classy. I didn't want to talk about it from a like salacious point of view. I just wanted to just make that really one statement, which is the women who worked for Lizzo, first of all, probably didn't have a lot of opportunities, right? So we need to figure out how to set ourselves up with the maximum amount of opportunities. And how do we do that? We maximize our technical skills, we maximize our soft skills, and we maximize our networks. You need to be able to say, screw this, I'm out, deuces, and be able to get another job in 2 weeks, 4 weeks max. That was the big thing that I got from the whole Lizzo thing. And I didn't spend that much time listening to it. But you said it well as well, Demure. That was the other thing I thought. What's done in the dark comes into the light. Absolutely. Be careful of how you are treating people. I thought about that too. I've heard of these horrors and news. We don't have social safety nets like they keep telling us. No, we don't have social safety nets. You are your social safety net. It's about to get worse too. There was unemployment at one point, and there still is unemployment. But, I haven't been on unemployment in years. I don't know what the process is anymore. But yeah, like, look, you better take care of yourself. Tam is in the building saying skill set, network, emergency fund, and soft skills. Yeah, that emergency fund, ladies, get your resources together, save your coins, get out of consumer debt, get out of credit card debt, get out of any kind of consumer debt. It's okay to have a mortgage. If you got your student loan, you can throw that bad boy on, what do you call it, forbearance if you lose your job, etc. But you get stuck in these situations with employment, and you get stuck with these men that you don't want in your house because you cannot make a move. So that's the big thing I want us to get from this entire situation. Yeah, Tam, be the solution. AE is saying they said the spike in unemployment was 90% Black people. I would believe that. I would believe that. Could they also be taking the chance because of who she is, give starstruck a different meaning? Um, I think that's why you enter into working with somebody, but from what she's accused of, there ain't no way I'm doing anything like that. None. So, you know, my only thought was if they really didn't want to do it, it's because they didn't see any other options or opportunities. Take care of your health. I've been able to avoid all my parents' chronic diseases so far, so good at 45. Good for you. I so I had mentioned that I, had this little health thing. I haven't been able to work out in a week and a half. And today I was like, I gotta at least take a walk. Like I can't sweat or anything like that. So I was like, I gotta at least take a walk. I miss working out. I cannot wait until I have another week to go. I can start working out again next Saturday. I'm like, oh, I cannot wait. That's why it's crazy that so many will try to build a life out of America. Yeah. Look, I will say this, America is the best place to make your money. Then if you decide you want to go live someplace else, okay, but I am still like America is the land of opportunity. The April and May employment numbers, but the number was not looking good. For the 90% of Black people being part of the spike in unemployment. Yeah, so we have to look at the 90% of Black people. Well, what were they doing with regards to their skills? What kind of jobs that they have, et cetera, et cetera. What kind of networks did they build while they were working either in the corporations or in their lives, period. Were they the top 10% of employees with regards to production, with regards to skill set, etc.? So Linux is beating unemployment numbers. I believe it, Tam. You're trying to get everybody into Linux. So America making 1,700 millionaires a day. Yeah. So look, America, I know that we have our problems, but I would not want to live anyplace else. Lizzo's dances were stuck like that mom whose small child was neglected at daycare 8 times. Exactly, exactly. That poor baby. But if you can't make a move, if you don't have the money to make a move, I really hope you get better and able to work out soon. Yes, me too. Me too, because my eating is still the same. So, all right, ladies. Well, that was my discussion tonight. Like, get your coins together. Yeah, if y'all need to go check out Tam and Linux, do that. If you're getting into tech, if you are just leveling up in your own career, whatever it is that you're doing, my suggestion is just to stick with it. Do not let up on off of the gas, because even though people are saying we're not in a recession, don't forget that the White House also changed their definition of a recession, and you are looking at your own personal economy. You're looking at your own personal economy, and you want to make sure that you don't end up old, sick, and broke. That was the topic for the evening. So, ladies, hit the like button on your way out. I will see you all tomorrow. We're going to have another conversation tomorrow evening. All right? Take care. Bye.